So in this session, we'll see how we can start working on SQL, that is structured query language. First, we'll see what is this SQL. It is nothing but structured query language. So what is a structured query language? It's nothing but it's a command which we actually give to the table or pass on to the table to do some operations. So what all we can do? One is we can extract data, that is by using select statement. Okay, just keep this in mind. Extract data or get the data. Next one is insert data. So for this we'll be using command insert. Then we can delete data. So for this we'll use delete command. Then we can modify data. For this we will use update command. See, just remember this: select, insert, delete, update. There are so many other commands as well that we'll learn one by one. So when I say SQL, this SQL is actually common in all the software, that is the database softwares. I was talking about SQL Server, MySQL, MS Access, or it can be any other softwares. To select a command, I have to select only. Say insert, delete, or update in every language. See, this is a common language which is used in all the other softwares as well. Now, how to start using this? That I'll tell you, and this is very simple to learn as well. It's like a normal English. To start with, first we'll see how this SQL command looks or how to use this in the design mode. In MS Access, we have two ways of writing these queries. One is the design mode, other one is SQL mode. The advantage here for people who are starting their SQL, learning this SQL from MS Access is they have something called as design mode, wherein you cannot find this in other softwares. So what is this design mode? This is something like very simple drag and drop. I can create some queries, and after that I can go and check the queries how it is actually written in command mode. So this will actually help you in learning the SQL very easily. So this is the advantage for beginners who actually wants to learn SQL. So after that, once you feel that SQL is very easy, then you become expert in some of the commands. And then if you want, you can move to the other server database as well, like SQL Server or say MySQL or any other softwares. So you don't have to think that okay, I'm learning this MS Access, so will I be able to work on other softwares as well? See, the concept, the syntax will be similar. Only the functions or some of the advanced features will be there in the higher end software, that is MySQL or SQL Server or any other server softwares. But this MS Access is a desktop application which will have almost 60 to 70% of the commands what we work in SQL. So if you learn here, then it will become easy for you to work in the other softwares as well. So I'll be teaching you both the modes, that is design mode as well as SQL mode, so that this will actually help you in working in MS Access as well as the common SQL softwares. Right. Now first we'll see how we can use this select command, that is to extract the data. So most of the time the commonly used SQL command is select. These things also will use, but not much. But this select is actually used for selecting the data, that is extracting the data from the existing table. So first we'll start learning how we can use this SQL in the table. Now I have a table here. I want to extract the data. First we'll see how we can extract all the columns, all the records. I'm talking about all the columns in the table and all the records in the table. Now let's go to this create. So we know that we have different objects here. Now we'll go to this query design. I can use this query wizard or query design. We'll come to this query wizard later once we learn this query design. So what we'll do, we'll start from scratch. I'll click on this query design. I'll get one window like this, that is query. And here all the tables or the queries, or if you have any other queries also, it will be listed down here. Let's say I have this table raw data. I'll just say add. I'll get the table here, that is the list of fields here. Or I can also go here, just drag and drop this table here like this. Or if no tables are there, you can also right click and say show table, and then you can add this. So any of these ways you can use it. Now if you can see this, I have the list of fields from the table what I have selected. This is for the single table what we are writing the say SQL command, the single table. When it comes to multiple table, there is something called as joins that we'll discuss later. Now what we're doing is we're trying to write a query on a single table that is called as raw data in our case. And here I have all the fields. If you go and check this, I have all the field names here. But if you go and check this, I also have something called a star. The star is something like a wildcard. It denotes that everything, all. Now let's start with this star, and then slowly we'll move on to this columns, and then with the records what we have. Let me just drag this star and I'll put it here in this field. You can see that there are so many parameters, say field, table, sort, show, criteria, or. When I say field, that means I'm just dragging the star and I'm dropping it here. That means I'm trying to create a command, or say write a SQL command to select all the columns with all the records. Now let me run this. So how to run this? Go to this design and say run. If I run this, see, I'm getting all the columns here. This is with the design mode. Right click and go to this design. See, I'm getting this data. That is, I drag the star and I put it here in this field, and I got all the records when I run this. But how does this SQL command looks? Let's go here. I'll say SQL view. This is a design view, and here I have this SQL view. Now I have the command here. Directly I can write the command here itself, but what I'll do is I'll take it to the notepad so that it will be still more easier for you to understand. Let me just say enter and give a tab here. See, this is how my SQL command looks. Not only in MS Access, I'm telling you in general, this is how it will be. The syntax will be select column name from table name. Select column name from table name. You can write in the same line as well, like this. Like this. Select star from table. This is also one way of writing, but usually what we actually do is, say, the best practice is keep it like this. So this will be very easy to understand. See, select column from table name. If you keep it in one line also it will work, but for debugging, or say if you want to check something, it will be a little difficult. So what we'll do is select the column name. Here it says table name dot the column names. In this case I told star is something like a wildcard. It is taking all the columns. So whenever you have a single table, you don't require the table name like this. You can still give it as select star from table name. If you have the table name, there is nothing wrong. If you want, you can keep this or you can delete it. Again, I'm telling, if it is only one table, then you can use this, the columns, without using the table name. But if you have multiple tables, that when you come to joins, then you have to specify from which table I'm taking the columns. Now let's forget that. Let's assume that we have only one table here. I'll say select star from table name. Now directly, if you want to create a query, let me close this without saving. I'll take one, say create, say query design. Now I'm not going to design. I'm not taking any table here. Directly I'll go to this SQL mode. This is the mode where other softwares actually use, that is SQL mode. Let me type this. I just copied and pasted here. If you want, you can type it. It says select star from the table name. If I run this, you can see I'm getting all the columns with all the records. So this is how we'll start the query. Right. Now what I want is, I want few columns, not all the columns, few columns from the table. That is, I am filtering the columns. Now how to do that? Let's go here. We'll write one more query. This is again in the design mode. I'll go to the design mode. I'll take this raw data. Now I will try to select the columns which is required. Now don't select the star. If you select star, then all the columns will be taken. Now what I'll do, let's say I want this order ID. Then I want order date. Just double click or drag and drop. You can double click or drag and drop. Now let's say I want region, then say I want state, then I will select sales and profit. That's it. I want only these columns from this table. You can see order ID I've taken, order date, region, state, sales, and profit. Now let me run this. See, I have only these columns. I've selected only these columns from the raw data table. Now this again like a virtual table, that is the query what we have written. Now how does this actually looks in my SQL command? Right click, say SQL. You can say this. I'll just copy this. I'll put it in a notepad and I'll show you how we can filter the columns. Now if you see here, it says select star from raw data. This is all the columns. Now I'm specifically taking few columns only. So here I will take order ID, order date. I'm just removing the table name here, region, state, sales, profit, and from the table name. You can see this. I can put everything in one line also, but have the habit of giving something like this. It will be very easy for you to understand what all columns I've taken, from which table I'm actually writing the query. Okay. Order ID, order date, region, state, sales, profit. Only these columns I have taken from raw data table. Fine. Now I can see that there is a square bracket in the beginning and in the end. Whenever you see a field which is having a space like this, order space ID, that means this will be considered as a separate column and this will be considered as separate column name. If I'm not giving this square bracket, if it is like this, then it will assume that there is a column here order and there is a column here ID, and it will go and check. If it is not there, it will throw error. If you want, I can show you. Let me just put one square bracket here. That means this is one column, order date is one column, then region, state, sales, and profit, these are all different columns. When I'm using this in a SQL command, say select is the command I have to put, and put all the column names separated by comma. You can see that all the columns are separated by comma. The last column what you see here, the last field will not have the comma. You should not put that. That means this is the last column here. From table, now let me copy this and I will paste it here. That is, let's create a new query direct from SQL command. Say SQL. Now let me paste it here. See, I've just pasted there. If you want, you can directly type it here also. Since I cannot zoom this, I've just taken this here in the notepad. I'm just pasting it here. If you want directly, you can type it here. Okay, let me run this. See, I'm getting order ready and all these things. Suppose if I'm not giving the square bracket, let me just remove the square bracket. Just see, I'm not given the square bracket. Let me run this. See, syntax error, missing a query expression order ID. That means it is assuming that this is a separate column and this is a separate column. So always, whenever you feel that the column name or the field name has got space, please put this square bracket, say open and close. That means this will become one column. You can put for this as well. Sometimes what will happen, we'll use like this. There is nothing wrong in this. If you have put like this also, it is correct. So you can use square bracket for this fields also. Let's say I put this square bracket, copy this, let me paste it here and I'll say run. See, still I'll get the result. This is for filtering the columns. Fine. So after this, let's see how I can filter the data. Here, what I have this, here is the data. Now I'll go here and I'll say filter central. This will get filtered. So you can think that I could have filtered the data directly here only. But what will happen is, see, every time I have to go and keep filtering the data like this. Let me just open that. So every time I have to go and keep filtering the data. So instead, I will write a query and I'll save it such a way that whenever I want, I'll just have to open that query. Let's write a query to filter the region. Just I'm trying to filter the region. Say create query design. Now I'll directly go to this SQL and I'll paste it here. Say run. I got this result. Now I want to write a query to filter, say region west. Right click, go to design mode. Here in this region, you can see that it says sort, show, and here I have this criteria. Criteria means the condition. I'll put in this condition saying that I want to filter, say, west. When I'm adding here, either I can put a double quote or a single quote, but make sure that if I'm putting double quote in the beginning, the double quote should end from the text. Say the beginning I put single quote, end it should be single quote. If I'm putting double quote in the beginning, so in the end also it should be double quote only. Now I'm saying region criteria is west. Let's run this. See, only west is filtered. Let's right click, go to this SQL view and see how the command actually look. Same thing, I'm using this where condition, where region equals west. Let me copy this. It's the same command, same SQL command, but here I'll be using where. Now I'll take the column, that is the field region equals west. See, this is how the query will be. But in the design mode, I just have to go here, right click, design, just have to mention in the criteria section that is west. Alright, now this is for filtering one region. Now what if I want to filter another region? Say I want to filter east as well here. I have to put or region equals west. Say now I'll say east. Like this. You have to use or operator. That means either it can be west or it can be east. But how to do it in the design mode? I'll go here, I'll say or east. Now the region whatever is there, it can be either west or east. Let me run this. See, it is taking west as well as east. Like this. So in SQL mode, it will be like this or. Alright, what if I want to add one more region? Then go here. I have to use, let's keep this as is, copy this, let's make it one more query, and here I'll say or region equals south. Like this. I have to keep adding this or. Let me copy this and I'll paste it in the SQL mode. Now let me run this. You can see this south, west, east, all these three will be available. The design mode, I'll be using this, say west or east or south. So I have to keep mentioning this. The region field, say west or east or south. What if I'm keep adding, say in the state there are say some 49 states, I want to filter 5 or 6 of them. If I'm keep adding that, say state 1, state 2, state 3, state 1 or state 2 or, it'll become a very big statement. Instead of this or operator, we also have something called as in. What this in will do, see, exactly like what have this or, so I'll use in. So how to use this in operator, that is instead of this or region, I'll mention it as in. When I say in, open bracket, you don't have to mention or here, say west, comma, let me copy this and I'll put it here, east, comma, south. Let me close the bracket. Now I'll remove this. This and this both are same, but here I don't have to mention say west or east or south or whatever. Let me copy this and I will paste it in my SQL mode. Okay, let me run this. See, I'm getting same result here, but here if you have this, so this will be very easy for me to keep mentioning. All right, now let's go to design mode and see here also we'll have same thing in. See, like this, in this criteria I'll say in, I'll mention all the regions here. Fine, let's go back. What if there are 10 regions, out of which I want to select 3 of them? I selected here 3. So rest all 7 will be filtered. An example I'm giving. What if I want to select 7 of them and not consider these 3 regions? Then I have to mention, say, region 1, region 2, region 3, region 4, region 5, region 6, and region 7. I have to mention all the 7 regions, wherein I have these 3 regions which I should not take. So in these kind of cases, if you think that there are very less, say, um, items should be filtered, then I can use something called as not in. Let's go here. I'll mention not in. When I say not in, what will happen? It will not consider this. So whatever is rest, only that will be filtered. Let me just remove this. Say not in west, east. That means whatever other regions are there apart from west and east, those regions will be filtered. So let's go here, right click, SQL view, and let me run this. See, I'll get south and central. The east and west will not be considered. The whatever regions are there apart from west and east, only those will be available here. These two will be filtered. This is for filtering the data, that is text. Right. Now let's go back. I want to filter all the states which starts with A. Let's take this. I'll not use any filters now. I'm just trying to remove these filters. Let's see how many states are there starting with A. Say there are 3 states that are starting with A. If you want, we'll go here. I think M has got more. So let's say I want to filter all the states which starts with A. So for that, if you want to write a query, there is something called as like operator. This like, what it will do is it will take the wildcard and then it will filter. Let's take the same command here. I'm just taking the same command. Now I want to filter what? State. Let me take this state and I'll put it here. Where state like, put one single quote, say M and mention star. So what this will do, this is like a wildcard. Say M star. After M it can be any characters, but for me the first character should be M. Let me select this and then right click in the query, go to the SQL mode and run this. See, all the states it starts with M will be filtered here. So if you mention another character, say I'll go here in the design mode, you can see this, say state like M. Here I'll say M A. The starting 2 characters should be MA. Let's run this. See, all the fields with MA will be filtered here. See, like this. If you want anything which ends with ES, then I'll go here. I'll just mention it as right click, design view, say star ES. See, what is that? Mention it as yes. So all the values here I given one star here. Remove this star, run this. There are no records like that. Let's see any other state ending with some character. I'll just take, say, IA or ending with A. Okay, or we'll take IA only. Let's go here, design mode. I'll say like star IA. Let's run this and see if we can get. See, yes, now I'm getting. So any state name which ending with IA will be filtered, so that you can use the star as a wildcard which will give me to select the values. This is for filtering the text. If you want multiple columns, say I'll filter east. Let's go here. Let's remove all this. Run this. Now I have this region. Let's say I'll filter east. In this east, I want to filter, say, New York. In east, I want to filter New York. That is one region column and one is from state column. So in that case, what we'll do, we'll go here. Let me just put this SQL command. Let's do this in my design mode as well. So region, the criteria is East and the state will be New York. Right. This is for the design mode. Let's run this. See, in East, New York, only these East will be filtered, and in state only New York will be filtered. In this case, we have to use AND operator. We'll say region equals East and state equals New York, like this. See, the command SQL command will be in this manner. Say select columns from the table name where region equals East and state equals New York. Now, suppose if you want to give multiple values here, that also you can do. Let's go here and see what all states are there in East. Let me go to this design view. Let's remove this New York. Let's check what all. Let's say we'll take this Pennsylvania. Here I'll say or state equals, like this. We can give like this, but instead of this, what we'll do, we'll use this in operator. See, say in New York, comma, like this. See, I can use something like this as well. Here also, if you want East and West, that also I can use it here. Let me go and copy this command, right click, SQL view, let me put it here. Let's run this. See, I'll get East and these two states which I've selected, like this. So this is how you can actually start writing your SQL commands. First we saw how to select all the data, that is all the columns by star. Then we tried only few columns from the table. Then we saw this where condition by filtering the fields with the data, and then we slowly understood about how to use this OR operator, then in operator, then we saw not in, then like, and also we saw how to use this AND operator by using multiple columns. This is for the text. Now let's see how we can filter numbers. Let me put filter numbers. So this will actually help you in understanding. I'll just go here. Now I want to filter numbers. Let's take the same fields here. I'm taking all the fields, same fields. If I run this, I'll get the entire data. I'll go to this SQL mode and I'll say run. I'm getting all the data. I want to filter the sales value which are above 5,000. Let's sort this and see. See, above 5,000, all the values should be filtered. For these kind of queries, so we'll be using something called as comparison operators. So what are comparison operators? It is equals, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Apart from this, we also have something called as between. Right, we'll go and work on this. Now I want to filter the sales column. I'll put where. You can see that it's very neatly structured. See, select the field from table where. Now what is that I'm filtering? So first we have to think about it. Say I'm filtering this sales. I'll go here where. So that's why I told just break this so that it will be easy for you to work on. Now see, select in this section, I'll select the columns. From, I'll select the table name where. So what is that I'm trying to filter? Let's say I'm trying to filter the values greater than or equals to 5,000. That's all. Now let me select this, right click, SQL, paste the command, run this. See, I'll get all the values which are greater than or equals to 5,000. Fine. Let me go to this design mode and see. See here in this criteria, I'm just mentioning greater than or equals to 5000. Suppose if you want equals, then you just have to mention equals here. Just say equal. Done. Let's go here. I'll just remove this and say equals. So wherever it is equal to 5000, only that will be filtered. Greater than 5000 means it will just give me greater than 5000. It will ignore 5000. Let's try that as well. If I go here, instead of equals, I'll say greater than 5000. See, all the values will be there except 5000. So you can use greater than as well. Put it here. Just put all the commands here so that you can practice. Right. Now less than. Let's say I want to filter all the values which are less than 100. Let's go here. Let's copy this and I'll put it here. I'll say sales less than 100. That means if there are any values with 100, it will not filter. So it will go here and say SQL view, paste it, run this. See, all the values which are less than 100 will be filtered here. You can see this, all the values will be from 0 to 100. Means 0 to 99.9 something, it will not consider 100. Suppose if you want 100 also, if at all it's there, just will have to mention less than or equals to. I'm not sure whether 100 is there. Let's check. Yeah, 100 up there. See, these three records like this. So go here, we copy this, we make it as less than or equals to. Let's say I want to filter a range. Range in the sense I want to filter the value from 1000 to 2000. That is a range. Now what we'll do, let's copy this where sales, I'll mention greater than or equal to 1000. Now I need one more condition here saying that it should be less than or equal to 1000. Then I'll mention here and take this sales, put it here. I'll say less than or equal to 2000. See, where sales is greater than or equal to 1000 and sales is less than or equal to 2000. Do not give OR operator here. OR operator, what will happen? Sales is greater than or equal to 1000. So all the values above 1000 will come. Or sales value is less than or equal to 2000. So all the sales value which is less than 2000 will come. That means no data will be filtered. All the data will be extracted. So in this case, you have to use AND operator. Let me copy this, right click, SQL view. Let me paste this, run this. See, all the values between 1000 to 2000 will be filtered. Instead of this, I can also use something called as between. Let's go here, say between. Instead of this greater than or equal to 1000 and sales is less than or equal to 2000, I'll say sales between 1000 and 2000, like this. See, sales between 1000 and 2000. That's all. This also works. It is similar to this one. Both are same. Either you can use the comparison operator or I can use this between. See, I'm getting same results here. Go to design mode. Here also, just in the criteria, I'm mentioning it as 1000 and 2000, like this. So this is for numbers. Let's go and see how we can filter date field now. I'll just take only these. I'm just taking the same columns here so that you can compare them. Say date filters. We'll put one break here. Okay. Right. Now, what is that we are filtering? We are filtering this order date. Let's go and check the date from where to where we have the raw data. Let me just sort it. I'm just taking the date. See, it's 2015 to 2018 what we have. Now let's say I want to filter the data January 6th 2015 equals to this number filter and date filter both will use similar kind of operators, that is comparison operator. Now I want to filter date, so what I'll do, I'll say where order date. Okay, now just observe, I'll say equals and I'm putting this date. Okay, if you see this, for text I've used double quotes or single quotes. For numbers I've not used anything, but when you are using this date as a parameter, if you want to pass a parameter, I'll use this hash. Use hash for a date, beginning and in the end. I'm saying order date equals 6 Jan 2015. Let me copy this, right click, SQL view, let me paste it. I'll say design, run this. See, it is equals to. Right, I want to filter all the data of January 2015, the entire data of January 2015. So what I'll do, I'll say less than or equals to 1st Jan 2015, sorry, 31st Jan 2015. So what this will do, anything less than 1st Jan 2015 will be filtered. Let's say copy this, right click, paste it, run. See, all the values in January will be filtered here like this. So you can plan accordingly. Fine, let's say I want all the values in December 2018. Then you go here, say greater than or equals to 31st, say 1st December 2018. Let's try to run this. Right click, SQL view, run this. See, all the values in December 2018 will be filtered. Now what if I want to have a range, say from one range to another range, like what we did for the number values. Let me copy this, and here we'll say order date. Let's say from 1st December 2018 till 10th December 2018 I want to filter. Let me copy the same thing and I'll say, and just mention here less than or equal to 10 December 2018. This is for the range. Let me copy this and we'll paste it in the SQL view, run this. Now you can see the date from 1st December to 10 December only. This can be written in similar way what we did for our number, that is using between operator. Go here, say order date between 1st December 2018 and 10 December 2018. This way also I can write. Copy this and here right click, SQL view, paste it, run this thing. Similar result I'll get. If you go to this design mode, see here in this criteria part, the order date, we are just mentioning it here like this. Fine, let's go back. We saw how to filter the text, the number and the date. Now what if I want to filter all these together, that is combination of all these data types? That also you can do. Let's go here. We'll go and do one by one. Okay, so whenever you're writing a query, please don't get confused. So first you have to plan, say what all columns I need. Let's say I'm planning to take these columns only. Try to run this. Copy here, right click, SQL view, I'll run this. See, I'm getting all the records here. Next, I want all the values in the year 2018. That is in 2018. I want all the records 2018. So what I'll do, I'll go here. First, our filter is date. That is, I want the range from 1st Jan 2018 till 31st December 2018. So what we'll do, we'll say where. So this is how we should start developing your SQL skills. Now what is the date? Order date. put it here, between hash, say 1st Jan 2018 hash, and hash 31st December 2018. So I got the date. Put this in a bracket so that this will be one condition. This is one condition because I've used AND operator and all, so it will be going to another criteria also. So what we'll do, we'll just put one bracket here. Enter. This should be in east. I want the region to be east. Then I'll say AND operator. Region equals east. Right. In this, I want all the sales which are above, say 1000, and say sales is greater than or equal to 1000. See, I've used date here. That means I want all the records from January 1st, 2018 till December 31st, 2018, which is the region east, and the sales value which are greater than or equal to 1000. So I want these records. Let me okay. Let's copy this, paste it. Now we'll run. See, year 2018, region is east, and all the values which are above 1000. Near I filtered 42 records. This is how you can actually mix all the data types, and also you can do it. Suppose if you want to have one more region here, so what I'll do, region in east, comma south, select, and then SQL view, say east and south. The sales value here, if you want to have, say, sales value greater than or equals to 1000, right, it should be less than or equal to 2000 as well. So then what I'll do, I'll use between, let's say sales between 1000 and 2000. Let's put it inside bracket like this, so that this will be one condition, right? Okay, let's put it here, run this. See, right? So likewise, you can actually start developing the queries like this. So first, say select, take the columns, then from the table, the where section will have all the conditions here like this. So you should go in a structured way so that it will become very easy for you to start developing the queries. Okay, this is very easy actually. So this is for filtering the records. So in the next session, I'll tell you how to sort this and also how to group the data, and there are so many other things. Slowly, one by one, we'll be learning about these queries.